We were just talking with Drew, and obviously these last couple weeks, played in every game, but hasn't practiced, hasn't skated a ton. He seems pretty comfortable with that situation and the management. Where are you kind of at with where he's at right now?
Yeah, well, I mean, we don't really have a choice. So yeah, there's a plan in place, and he plays a lot of minutes. It's not like he needs to get out there and get conditioned. You worry about some touches sometimes, but when you look at the schedule, it's every other day basically for the rest of the year. So there's not a lot of really good practice time anyways.
Is the most important part that there is a plan in place between you, him, and obviously the medical team who knows the best?
Yeah. I mean, we want the best out of him for the games. That's most important. He could practice. We understand that, but just taking the big picture into account, we'll just make sure he's fresh for the games.
The focus is obviously on the Kings, but what are you expecting from the Wild? The team looking a little desperate to get some points.
Yeah, right. Well, we just went through that ourselves, so you know that they're not happy. You know that there's going to be some energy. There's going to be some determination. So it's easy for us to talk to our team about that because we just went right through it. So we expect them to be ready tonight. That's for sure.
Even though the team has struggled on the road this season, you guys have been really good against playoff teams, and one of them being Minnesota. Is it easier for the team to elevate play against teams that are higher up in the standings?
I don't know. I just know this. I mean, the past is the past. We had a lousy road trip, our last road trip, and so we talked about we have to be ready to play. And when you come off it, it's a lot of work to get back on it. We're on it now. Whether we're home or on the road, we can't come off it. And we got a hungry team we know that we're going to be facing.
Jim, don't want to lead you into it, but I will. It seems like the line combinations you have set here for a while, does that make it, you can use the word easier, it's not never easy, but on the road to get matchups because you have more options?
Yeah, I would say so. Yeah, I mean, it's we've been pretty consistent with this, probably more consistent than this whole season. Maybe back to last year a little bit when I took over, but this year I would say it's consistent as we've been. And we talked about Sam Helenius. I think he's taken a real step this time around. I'm way more comfortable with him now. If he gets out there against the top line, so be it. And he's done a really good job. Not that he didn't before, but there's just a more comfort level for him on the ice and probably with me. So yeah, we're good that way. And then you got the three centers who have all played the shutdown role at different times this year. So we're pretty comfortable.
And what Sammy does his comfort and maybe a little bit of experience now, I'm not going to say improve his foot speed, but he looks quicker.
He does, yeah. No, I think everything's just coming a little bit more natural for him. There's less hesitation in his game, which will make a guy look quicker. He just seems he seems like he's played for a year now. Mm-hmm. Whereas the first time, you're watching him, Sammy, you're talking to him, hey, now he's just out there playing. So, yeah, I think we're all seeing that.
Have you, talking with some of those guys on the fourth line the other day, they've thought that they've had a good dynamic. What have you noticed about the change in that dynamic since moving Turk to that line and maybe adding a little bit more speed?
Well, I mean, Turk is a buzzsaw, so he's out there. He hunts down, loose pucks. He's not finishing like Sammy or Gino, but he's still getting under his stick, buying time for those guys to get in and support him. So, and on the other side, when one of those two is first, Turk's usually there pretty quick to pick up the loose change after they've, wiped somebody out, those two. So there's some good elements there. And but I think probably the most important is just Sammy's comfort that we've talked about. I just think a centerman is always the key to every line. And when he's playing like that, it really helps the wingers.
Suffice to say, a good goalie can get you guys a lot of points. How has Kemps's elevated play really helped you guys down the stretch?
He's just been so good for us and really consistent too. I think it's the other part of it. Goalies like teams can go up and down for whatever reason. He's just maintained a pretty consistent level for us. I think that's really helped settle us down in the bad times and obviously ride the good times.
Thanks, Jim.
Okay.